Hello, everyone. I'm gonna try to make a video every day, um, to hold myself accountable and, if I could help anyone even a little bit. Um, so I got inspired to look at reverse splits, seeing our latest pack member post a video about her reverse split. I haven't traded any reverse splits, so I'm just looking at them and trying to do some research right now. Um, and kind of thought of a few ideas. So I have everything on a spreadsheet. So a few that I want to look at. The first one, there's a handful of similarities that I've seen when doing this little bit of research, and I want to show them through a few charts. And I also just listened to a webinar from Roland that kind of reinforced these things. So the first one is Zcar here. And, the first thing that I'm looking for, or that I'm seeing, I should say, is a whole number. If it makes a low at a whole number, that's going to kind of pique my interest. So you see here with Zcar, makes a low at 393, let's say 4, and the next day it goes up. Of course, any stock that's near a dollar, I'm kind of seeing this like $1.30, $1.40 range. So this is VCIG, makes a low at 138, and then it's slowly grinding up, went all the way to 233. ABLT or ALBT, again, near 1. And then this is another thing that I've noticed, is these kind of random low wicks, right? So you see this random candle that has a really low wick, in this case near a dollar, then it shoots back up. This is something that I've seen on some of the first Green Day plays as well, as you get these candles with long wicks, and then they shoot back up or down, and then they can kind of consolidate. So that's another thing that I'm looking for. And in this case, it was near a dollar, so this one was almost perfect. This is TRNR. And again, what we see here is making a low at a half number, whole or half number. I think can kind of consider them the same thing. And then next thing you know, 250 to 5. And kind of the same thing with this one, where in this case, there's not a low wick, but it has this big red candle to this half number, reclaims, and then consolidates. The next one is AQMS, again, near a dollar, 133, right? Another thing that I'm seeing is when it makes a low, sometimes we'll see a little push off that low, and then it kind of reclaims, it kind of goes back down to that low and then kind of curls back up, almost like a W shape, right? And then the last one is NA, which is kind of my last observation, where in this case, it makes a low at 272, but then it consolidates around this kind of 3 number here. And you could have used this low the whole time. So the observations from these charts are anything near 1, of course, that's kind of the whole premise of the play, right? Anything near 1 is going to pique my interest. Anything that makes a low and reclaims and kind of holds that low with these candles, the best example I have is probably this one, ALBT, where again you have this really low wick and it just shoots back up. That's going to pique my interest. Anything near a whole or a half dollar number, I want to see it kind of make a low and then either consolidate or maybe kind of perk up a little bit and then fall back down and hold it. And those are kind of the things. And then another thing is I have some data. So from the ones that I've tracked, seems on average between day 7 and day 9 is when they run. Sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes it's a little bit less, but between day 7 and day 9. And then another thing I noticed is a high cash need on dilution tracker. And that makes a lot of sense to me. They want to pump it up, they need to raise cash. So to recap, things that I'm looking for just based off of what I've seen, anything near $1, anything that has a random low wick candle but reclaims it, anything that makes a low near a whole number or a $0.50 and then consolidates, um, high cash need on dilution tracker, and between day 7 and day 9 from the day they did the split. So with all of those things put together, my top splits right on watch right now are AKAN. In this case, simply it's near $1, right? 130, 122. You could even use that as a low. Ideally, I would want to see this maybe consolidate closer to this 122 low. That would be kind of my entry point. The next one is ULXH. This one is very intriguing to me. Makes a low at 122. Kind of have some volume coming in here. You know, it's just near $1, right? And then the next one is DNMR, where it makes a low at 499 with a wick, pushes up, and then pushes back down again. So what I'm looking for is for kind of this W shape, right? So if I could get in anywhere around this 515, 525 area, I'm in a good spot. LUXH and DNMR have high cash needs on dilution tracker, and AKAN has a medium cash need on dilution tracker. And they're all within the day 7 and day 9 time frame. Some other ones that I have on my list are TPET, excuse me. But it looks like this play already happened, right? But look at this. You have this low wick candle that makes a low near 1, reclaims, comes back down, or goes up, comes back down, and kind of makes this W shape. So you have the first half of the W, the middle part of the W, and then the last part of the W, right? So curious to see if this continues. But this play is over for me, unfortunately. UPC is another one, but again, the play might be over. But again, we make a low near $1. This one's a little too close to 2, but kind of the same concept. And then AD, which is making a low near a whole number. So those are my ones that are on watch. Hopefully these observations make sense. And yeah, I'm really interested in DMNR if I could get in around here, and LUXH because it has a high cash need and it's very close to $1. And then AKAN, it's near $1, but I kind of want to see it get closer to this low here. But hopefully these observations are helpful to anyone. They were helpful to me looking at them. And have a good night.